It has been a whole week since my husband and I got married, which feels so surreal because literally 7 days ago right now, we were doing our wedding reception. It was a wonderful experience, and I've spent this entire week just reflecting on it, recuperating, and just, I guess, enjoying the moment, right? Because, we deserve to experience that, especially with the looming threat of a Burgafell on the Supreme Court lingering in the background of everything. But I would be remiss to say that this wedding and the preparation for it and everything that we've navigated to get to it, it's not been a learning experience. It absolutely has been a learning experience, especially for me. Something that I've been able to at least talk to my therapist about and unpack. But the one thing that I've discovered resulting from my wedding is that I still harbor a lot of need for the people in my life, notably family, to recognize and see our relationship for what it is, accept its validity, celebrate it. And if there's anything I've come to learn over talking about gay loneliness over the years, is that this universal experience of, and I'm speaking from the perspective of gay men, but it applies to everybody in the LGBTQ plus community. Gay men, like when we find that special someone, when we go all that distance coming out, trying to fit in, trying to find ourselves playing this catch up game, when we finally find that person, after all the work that we do in hope that our family will fully accept us, sometimes we make the discovery that a lot of support is performative. And I worry that I've made that discovery over the last few months. Um, and it's not just me. My husband has been making this discovery as well, that sometimes people will really dress up the allure of being fully supportive when really we're just kind of getting maybe 75% support. And I've found over the last week, when I've examined the family that's celebrated us and publicly, shared our wedding or posted about it or commented about it publicly, there were those who didn't. There were those who just kind of pretended that it didn't happen, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it stung. It stung quite a bit because, again, I've always just kind of played this goal-setting game of at some point, someday, they will see and recognize our relationship for what it is and celebrate us equally. And I think the most hard part of this, and I'm thankful for therapy, is one accepting that it is lonely and accepting that found family, you know, at this point in my life is far more supportive, but also accepting that I don't have control over other people's degree of acceptance or lack thereof. In fact, because I'm an educator, I've spent so many years having conversations with people, with family, with, educational conversations about you know, here is what support looks like, here are the needs, I know you're capable of them, let's work on them together. And those conversations just always seemed to be, I mean, don't get me wrong, there were fights, of course. But those conversations always left me feeling like there was some sort of momentum regarding the feeling of that support. But now that the wedding has come and gone, this kind of rug has been ripped off from under me, where it's just given me a blatantly obvious example of what full unadulterated support looks like versus no support or, you know, minimal support. And it's something I'm going to have to accept because now, that loneliness, I mean, it's still there. I've always just had this vision in my mind of family just circling around us and being accepting. And there are family members who do, which is great and I appreciate it. But, there are also significant swaths of family who don't. And I have to remind myself that all that work I did was not in vain, and that so long as myself, found family, and my husband, and the family members who are supportive are always there, then truthfully, we aren't alone. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Sometimes it takes time to work through that, and it's never linear. It's never linear. Yeah. No, so, but in a way, it's kind of comforting seeing that concrete example of 100% support versus those who aren't super supportive just kind of outing themselves, right? Because now I'm just not, now I don't always have the question in my mind of like, well, does that person support me or no? Or, will that person show up or no? Now I know. Now we know. And I think moving forward, we'll be able to just kind of heal and continue to make our connection stronger and continue to make connections with, you know, supportive family and found family even stronger. When I say found family, I'm talking about like friends and stuff and so on and so forth. So I don't know. I might do a few other videos about this, but it's been something I've been thinking about. Like, it feels really great to be married, and I am so grateful. And when it comes with, this reaching this goal in my life, like I've just, discovered that now that I'm in my mid to late 30s, I know who I want to surround myself with. I know who will uplift me. I know who will be supportive. And I guess it just feels good to have that knowledge now and to be resolute about it. What doesn't always feel good is knowing that, well, just knowing, right? Sometimes the truth hurts. The truth hurts. But at least we navigate that truth together, right? So, anyway, I love you all. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for listening as always. I am still working on editing our wedding ceremony, but I will be posting that as well because I know many of you wanted to see it. But thank you as always for supporting all of my work. Thank you as always for, you know, hanging in there. We're in this together. And, if you are looking for that special someone, don't give up. Don't let anyone discourage you. Don't let anyone tell you you won't. Don't let your inner self tell you you won't. Because, I mean, it's taking me a long time, but I finally have gotten here. And it has been worth the wait. Absolutely been worth the wait. Love you all. Talk to you soon.